All right, what's up, everyone? Today, going to be doing this problem called minimum subset sum difference. Um, this is from another. This is from like the Grokking the coding interview. Um, it's a practice problem set thing. Teaches you coding patterns so that you can apply them and be able to solve problems. So coming up here, given a set of positive numbers, partition the set into two subsets with a minimum difference between the subset sums. So basically, you're given 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 9, and then the output is 3 because if you partition them into 1, 2, 3, and 9, then the sum will become 3. And so for this 1, 2, 7, 1, 5, you're able to do 1, 2, 5, and 7, 1, like here, so you can get a 0. 1, 3, 104, we can get 92. And I guess just to example, my example of input of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Output. Um, you should try to see if you can get this on your own, just to see if you understand the question. So maybe pause or whatever, if you know, whatever, up to you. But its output's supposed to be 0, and so explanation. Partition into, you can do something like 1, 7, 8, and what is it, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I think that gives you 18. Oh no, sorry, not 1, 3, and this would be 1, and then you get rid of the 3. So you get 18 here, and then you get 1, 3, 7, 12, 18. So you're able to get 18 there. And yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna hop straight into the problem. What I'm going to do first is total sum, because I do use some nums quite a bit. So I'm just going to make that into a variable so I don't have to call it every single time. Since we're going to be doing this with dynamic programming, I believe this is called, is it bottom up? Actually, I'm not too sure. So what we're going to do is total sum for C in range of int total sum divided by 2 plus 1. So actually, let me finish typing this out and then I'll explain what this is supposed to be. So basically, we're creating an array, right? Basically, we're going to have X or R amount of rows for the number of numbers that we have in the array. And then for the length or like the width, whatever, the number of columns, we're going to do the total sum divided by 2, and then you put integer around it. So I believe it rounds down if you do this, but this truncates towards 0. So yeah, actually, this should be the same as performing this, which should be floor division here. But yeah, up to you. I guess this is maybe easier to read if some people don't know what floor division is. But anyways, for like the length, we want to get to the half point mark of the sum, because if we're able to get exactly halfway, that means that we will be able to have a subset sum of 0 between the two sets, right? And then so we're going to create this array that will help us I guess calculate what numbers we're able to have. So we're going to do for range of the int of total sum divided by 2 plus 1. So here we want to go across the first row, because in the first row we know there's only one number that we can potentially take, right? So if C is greater or equal to nums of 0, then we can do dp 0C is equal to absolute value of total sum minus nums 0. So the reason why this works is because once the index is greater than our number, we're able to technically use that sum and then put it into our first subset to help us lower the difference between the two, right? Because initially it's 0 and the whole sum, which is the greatest difference possible that you can have. And so now when the number that we're looking at, because C, the number of columns, is supposed to help us represent what sum we can create. Like at this number, what's the smallest difference we can create, basically, right? Or like what sum we can create. So we're going to subtract this number from the total sum, the absolute value of that, and then put that into the array at that instance. And so now we're going to do this double for loop for the range of length of nums. But you actually can just start at 1 because we did the first row already. And then for C in range of from 1 to the int of total sum divided by 2 plus 1. Now you can calculate what you want, right? So basically, if C is greater than or equal to nums_r, which means we in this current number, we could potentially use this number that we're currently looking at as part of the subset sum, right? So we're going to have dprc is equal to the minimum, because we're going to have two absolute values being calculated, and then we want to take the minimum between them because we want to have the smallest difference possible, right? So we do dpr minus 1 and then C minus nums_r to get the row above, which is before we started looking at this number, and at this current number minus that value, and then minus this current number. I'll draw it out using this first example at the end. So you kind of sort of have to trust me here for now. And then absolute value of dpr minus 1 C, which is just the number right above it. And then if it's not greater than or equal to, then we will just take the number above it, because we cannot use the current number that we're looking at to as part of our subset sum. So now we're going to return the absolute value. Okay, actually, before I do the return, let me draw this out for you. So what we're going to have first is something looking like this is 3, 6, 15, so it's 7, so from 0 to 7, and then we're going to have what is it, 15? Yeah, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 4, 1, 2, 3, no, sorry, this is 6, 15, 7.5, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7.5, so we round down, right? And then we're going to do this for 4 numbers. So let me comment this out actually. So now that we have this, our first row, we're going to, so the 0, if we don't use the number, or like for the 0 subset sum, we're never going to have a value here, right? So it's always going to be 15. And then in this case for 1, we're able to make this 14 and then all the way across. Because for the subset sum of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, we're able to use the number 1. So this row correlates the 1, 2, 3, and 9, right? And then this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7. Numbers are a little bit off, but you get the point, right? So what we're going to do from here is we've set up this first row, and so starting from here, we look, is C, which is 2, greater than 1? No, it isn't. So we just take the 1 above, so it's going to be 14. Now 2 is greater than or equal to what do you call it? 2. So we can take the row above minus the number 2, 0, 15, and then minus the number. So that would be 15 minus 2, so this would be 13, right? And so you go down. With this, you go up. So now 3, so it's still greater than. So you go up and to the left by 2 because of this is the number. Up and to the left by 2, and then you can make this 12. And then so as a human, we can look at it and be like, oh, 1 and 2 makes 3. And then you can do 15 minus 3 because we're trying to create like the smallest sum possible, right? So it would be 3. And then, so this will go across because we can just see that it's a pattern. Because all of these are 14. If you go up and to the left 2, 14 minus 2 will be that. Right, so same thing with this. Once it's 3, so we'll take 14 here, we'll take 13 here, and at 3, we're able to do this, go up, and minus 3, and this would be 12, right? Because, so we would go up 1 row, and then we're currently column 3, but minus 3, so we'd get to 0, and then 15 minus 3 is 0. And so for this one, you would go up, so for 4, we can make a sum of 4 with 3 and 1, so I'll just do that. But basically, if you go up 1, 2, 3, 14 minus 3 is 11, and then with 5 you can do 3 and 2, right? So you can do up 1, 2, 3, 13 minus 3 is 10. Same thing here. With 6 you can go 15 up 1, 2, 3. Minus 3, so this will give you 9, and then since the rest is that, you can also just infer that that will be 9 as well. So now going down here, we're going to take the top, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 10, and then 9 and 9. So this comes to our solution. Return. Bear with me as I just type this whole thing out, and then I'll explain what it is. Nums minus 1, and then we're going to do int of total sum divided by 2 plus 1. Oh no, not plus 1 because we don't, the 0 index doesn't matter at this point. And then we're going to do dp of the same thing, length of nums minus 1, and then int of total sum divided by 2 plus 1. Oh yeah, once again, don't want the plus 1, just the force of habit from up there. Total sum minus dp, length of nums minus 1, and then this, and then minus this. Okay, so actually, so this is how I wrote it the first time through. I have another solution that I just thought of that perhaps we can try, and then we'll see if that works. But to explain the solution, to break it down a little bit, so we're doing the total sum minus this, right? So this is literally just the last index, because dp of length of nums minus 1, so the length is 4, but since it's 0 index, we want 3. We want row 3. And int of the total sum divided by 2. So total sum is 15 divided by 2, 7.5 int, so it rounds down, so it gives you 7. So it literally just looks for the last box. And so we want 15 minus 9, which gives us 6, and then 6 minus 9 again, because we want the sum between the two sets. So this is our first set, right? Our first set is this, 9. And then so we want total sum minus that 9 because this gives us, I guess technically this would be the second set. So this is our first set where it's the last one. The smallest sum that we can get closest using this like middle point, right? So this would come to 9, and then so 15 minus 9 would give us the sum of the rest of the numbers, which would be 6. And then so we want the absolute value of that, which would give us our solution up here. So it's 30920, right? So we'll do this 3092 92 and 0. So if I were to save this, paste it, 30920. All right. And for my other idea that I can perform really quickly, just this is probably only in Python. I'm not 100% sure in all of the other languages. But basically, if you were to use negative one should give you the last index. So if I'm not mistaken, if I were to run this again right here, we would get 30920, which will still be the solutions that we're looking for. Yeah, so that'll be the video for today. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave it in the comments below, and I will do my best to try to address them. Thank you so much for watching, and hope you have a great